Young and the Restless spoilers November 24th. Phyllis turns over yet another leaf. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, November 24th, usher in a short work week with Phyllis making a promise to her son, who has problems of his own. Key takeaways. Phyllis and Daniel connect. Daniel gets support from Tessa. Christine and Danny are married. The end. Next on YNR. Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, knew she was in for a terrible day. It's the day her Danny Michael Damian marries the bug Lee Kristen Laura Lee Bell for the second time. Phyllis knows it's a terrible idea. And Danny will figure it out eventually. Maybe some sea life in their bed might help bring him to his senses. In the meantime, Phyllis is deeply offended that her son would dare attend his own father's wedding. Why, Danny wouldn't even be Daniel's father if Phyllis hadn't lied about it. And yet, her son shows no gratitude for her putting his needs first like that. Why does Phyllis always have to be the one to give, while the rest of Genoa City just takes? Well, Phyllis will go ahead and be the bigger person. So she makes a promise to Daniel, Michael Graziade, who discussed their fun mother/son dynamic. You're welcome, honey. Side by side. One of Daniel's many betrayals on this horrible day for Phyllis is singing at his father's and that woman's wedding. He learned to play the guitar for it, thanks to Tessa, Kate Fairbanks. And when Daniel freaks out at the last minute, Tessa is there to support him. The way Daniel has been there to support Tessa through her troubles with Mariah, Cameron Grimes. They're friends now. Will they drift towards something more? Second time around. Phyllis failed to stop Danny and Christine from tying the knot, and while she sulks, they celebrate. They've got friends Lauren, Tracy Bregman, and Michael, Christian LeBlanc, there, as well as visitors like Nina, Trisha Cast, and Gina, Patty Weaver. Everything is going great. And we're absolutely sure their marriage road will be smooth sailing, this time around. The sun rose over Genoa City like it always did, soft gold brushing against rooftop edges, reluctant light creeping across the restless town. But on this particular morning, something felt different. Perhaps it was the rare stillness in the air, or the hint of winter frosting the horizon. Or perhaps, if one looked closely enough, it was the subtle shift inside Phyllis Summers. A spark of determination, a whisper of change, a leaf trembling at the edge of turning. Phyllis Summers. A new dawn or the same old storm? Phyllis sat alone at society, fingers curled around a mug of coffee that had long gone cold. She wasn't really drinking it. She simply needed something to hold, something to anchor herself against the storm of her own choices. For weeks she had been dancing on the tightrope between redemption and relapse. Every time she swore she would change, trouble seemed magnetized to her, sometimes following her, sometimes created by her own hands. But today she had made a decision. A real one. I'm done sabotaging myself, she whispered into the steamless mug. The universe, in response, sent her the least comforting interruption possible, Jack Abbott walking up beside her. He wasn't angry. That was almost worse. Phyllis, he said gently, I heard you wanted to talk. She met his eyes, bracing. Jack Abbott had seen her at her best and her worst, and while he always offered her kindness, his disappointment could carve deeper than anyone else's anger. I do, she said. And I'm not here to make excuses this time. Jack tilted his head, intrigued and cautious. Then say what you came to say. Phyllis inhaled sharply, one last swallow of pride, one last breath before the attempted rebirth. I want to turn over a new leaf. For real. Not for attention. Not to manipulate anything. And not to win anyone back. Just because I'm tired of who I've been. Jack studied her, as if searching for cracks in this shiny new veneer. But instead of calling her out, he simply nodded. Then prove it. Not to me, he leaned in slightly, to yourself. For the first time all week, she felt hopeful. A fragile, unfamiliar hope, but hope nonetheless. Diane's skeptical shadow. But if there was one person in Genoa City least likely to buy into Phyllis's transformation, it was Diane Jenkins. Diane spotted Jack at the bar and slid beside him with practiced grace. So, she said, following Jack's gaze to the table where Phyllis had sat moments earlier. I hear she's trying again. A new leaf. Jack sighed. Everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves one, Diane said. She's had 9 lives worth. Her tone wasn't cruel. It carried the weariness of someone who had been burned one too many times. But beneath the skepticism was something else: fear. Diane's world with Jack had finally stabilized. And if Phyllis truly changed, truly behaved, truly repaired her reputation, she could also become Jack's confidant again. Diane hoped she wasn't losing him. Not now. Not when she had fought so hard to rebuild. And the fear curdling in her stomach only deepened when Jack added, "I think she was being honest." Summer's hopeful heart. Meanwhile, Summer Newman stood outside Chancellor Winters, nervously flipping her phone in her hand. She had just gotten the text from her mother, "I'm turning things around, I promise." Summer wanted to believe her. She truly did. But she'd been lifted, disappointed, lifted, and disappointed again. So often she felt the emotional whiplash physically. When she walked into Crimson Lights, she found Daniel already there, stirring his coffee with the absent-minded motions of a man lost in thought. "She texted you too?" Summer asked. Daniel nodded. "Yep. The annual leaf-turning announcement." Summer sank into the chair opposite him. "Do you think she means it this time?" Daniel didn't answer immediately. Instead, he sighed, wiping a hand over his face. "I think she wants to mean it," he finally said. "And sometimes wanting is the hardest part." Summer bit her lip. She wanted to be hopeful. She wanted to be supportive. But she also knew that hope, with Phyllis, was something best handled with gloves.